Hey everyone, this is Casual Fanatic.
Film reviews without the shoes.
I'm Luca, your casual viewer.
And I'm Cayman, your fanatic.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Good early morning to you. How you have been?
Normal morning.
It's just normal. No, it's early.
You already be working at this time.
That's true. Vacancy bags under my eyes from a late night out.
What were you up to last night?
So all of yesterday, not all of yesterday. From like 1 onwards, I was doing stuff. And then the stuff I don't want to reveal just yet.
Okay.
Because it'll be my my recommendation.
Okay.
But at night we went to this guy's apartment. It was his birthday, so it was a birthday party, and he had like this movie room in his apartment complex. Super fucking nice apartment complex and super nice movie room. And we hooked up JBL speakers with 3 mics to the TV, and we just did karaoke. And let me tell you, that karaoke sounded better than an actual karaoke room because of those speakers.
That's JBL for you.
Yeah. Dude, the JBL speakers, this should be another recommendation. Those JBL speakers with their mics are so good. Like, so good. I was impressed. But yeah, that's what I was up to. I mean, I didn't come home like super late. I think I got back like at like 12:10 or something like that. No, it's not bad. But I think the other thing that I'll recommend made me more tired than anything.
Okay.
So yeah. How about you? What have you been up to?
So on, was it Wednesday? We went to that comedy show.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It went way later than I ever expected it to. I'll be real.
Really?
Maybe I'm just like not aware of how long the shows go. But I was home at like 12:30. Or in bed at 12:30. Home at 12. I don't know which one it was. But it was late. And I was like,
Well, to be fair, it didn't start until like almost 10.
That's also true. That's true. Yeah.
Because the earlier show sold out.
Yeah. But that was a fun time.
Yep. And then on Saturday, I went out to Fort Collins. Trevor, the other person who went with us to the comedy show, is part of like a tuba band that they have a performance every winter called Tuba Christmas. And so it's like 100 people that all play tuba.
You're kidding.
And they go out there and play Christmas songs.
Why does that make sense for him?
And
Awesome.
And then after that, we just like walked around. His parents were there, and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's parents were there. And so we like went to get lunch. I guess they went to get lunch because his parents were hungry. The rest of us had eaten.
Oh,
So
really?
we went to some Mexican place and had they called it Mexican coffee. It was coffee, Kahlua, and tequila. I was like, not bad. And then after that, we went around to a couple of the different shops in downtown Fort Collins.
Oh, sweet.
And then his parents left, and then the 3 of us, me, him, and his girlfriend, went out to a bar and just hung out the rest of the night.
Do his parents live in Fort Collins or in Denver? Or somewhere else completely?
I honestly don't know where they live, but the performance is in Fort Collins every year.
That's awesome. That's clean. Was it a good performance?
Yeah, I mean, it
was a lot of tubas?
Well, the problem is it's and other brass players will know this, but it was pretty cold, and it's hard tuning your instrument in those conditions because the metal gets really cold.
Yeah, everything shrinks just a wee bit.
Yeah. But it was good.
Cool. Nice. That's so funny. A tuba concert. Cool. Nice. Well, what are we reviewing today? Let's keep going. What are we reviewing today?
Today we are reviewing the 2007 movie, The Man from Earth, which was directed by Richard Shankman and written by Jerome Bixby. Stars David Lee Smith, I guess, is the main person. There's like 5 or 6 other people that are of varying popularity. I'm sure you'd probably recognize some of them if you saw their faces, but they don't really have they're not like household names.
Right.
But this movie, so obviously when we were talking about Moon, we had said that was the lowest budget movie that we had ever reviewed, but this blows that one out of the water.
Is it?
Because it's just a room for
Right.
pretty much the entire movie.
It's shot in one room and their front yard.
How much do you think this movie costs?
Maybe like 40,000. More than that.
It's more than that. It's not that cheap.
I don't know. I'm bad at gauging. Maybe 200,000.
It's 200,000.
Yeah, yeah, sick. 40K. That's nice.
Although I don't see any box office here, so I don't even know if this came out in theaters. Like, I might have to look at
Really?
it separately.
Huh? I thought I would have, but who knows?
See if I can get a different number here. Yeah, this says domestic box office not available.
Hmm.
So I don't know,
Weird.
but no money, I guess.
It is on streaming platforms, so I'm sure they still get royalties, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some other ways of making money. It's just not theaters.
Yeah, that's fine. So, what'd you think of the movie?
I didn't know anything about it. You said it was your favorite movie, and so I was like, all right, I'm sure it's pretty good. And then, like I said, the whole movie takes place in one room, which like isn't inherently a bad thing. There are plenty of other movies that are like single location movies, but I kept expecting it to go somewhere else, and it never did.
No, you get a shot from the car at one point. Yeah, no. No, I guess the farthest it went was down the road
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah.
But
So
then, like,
a room and a little bit outside.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is so simple, but they do such a good job at just making you think, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Just the simplicity of it. The acting carries the whole movie. Like, there's no special effects in
Mhm.
this. It's just pure dialogue, and they call it quits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I think.
I wrote in my notes, I said it felt like a student film that just hired really good actors. Like someone just graduated film school and they were like, I have an idea, and they somehow got all these people who are like really experienced actors.
I could see that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. No, that's totally fair. It was also filmed in 2007,
Yeah.
so the quality isn't like,
But also I don't even know if it
perfect.
matches 2007 quality because it's like
And here's the thing. So, like, the first time that I watched it, like, did you watch it on which platform?
Amazon.
Me too. I thought it was worse on Amazon than what I've seen before.
Interesting.
And I've seen it on CD.
Okay.
So, like, I don't understand, why it was so like blurry,
Yeah.
but
Especially
that's one
like
thing that I definitely
in
remember.
some of the darker scenes, you could like see some of the pixels popping out because the black levels were too much.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it was not like that. It felt like a normal '07 movie
Okay.
if you'd watched it on CD. Like, I don't know why that was one of my notes. It was like the quality that Amazon showed was just
Fair enough.
not the right. I don't know what they did. It's like they recorded off a fucking TV screen and threw it in Amazon, called it a day. Anyway.
But yeah, like you said, a very interesting concept, and it is based off of a book, I think, because even in the Amazon version it says like Jerome Bixby's Man from Earth. So I assume I don't know how popular that book was, but it's enough that they put the author in the titles.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know how I like found the movie. It may have been my dad or just a random movie we found during that time period that we watched, but I don't know, it's always stuck with me just because it's like a extraordinary, like out of the normal movie.
Mhm.
And I think I like those things. Just the things that like people aren't aware of. Or I'm like, that's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
Not saying it's God tier, but I think everyone should at least watch it once.
There's also I don't know if you saw this on Amazon, but there is a sequel, and I watched the preview for that, and it looked kind of dumb.
Not as good.
But I suppose we can do a quick summary.
Let's do it. It's in one room.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's in one room. Just grand synopsis is it's a professor. They're all professors, actually. They're all professor friends.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh, well, it's an '07 movie. If you haven't, well,
Listen, I just
true. Spoiler warning, because you must go see the movie. Yeah, so they're all professors. One professor, after 10 years of being with his colleagues, decides to move. Short notice, super short notice, apparently. They're all like upset at him for not, letting them have thrown a going away party.
right.
Blah, blah, blah. During this party, he practically, like, I won't go through all the events of it because I think an overarching like topic is good enough. You don't need to go through all the little details.
Yeah.
But he wants to say goodbye to them. They keep pressing him on, well, why are you even leaving? Like, we enjoy your presence so much. We're such good friends. Like, where are you going? What are your plans? And he's like, oh, I just kind of move.
Yeah.
And then
And there are a couple little, like, odd things that he says that catch their attention.
yeah,
Like, I think at one point he's like, "Oh, I move like this all the time." And they're like, "You couldn't have possibly moved that many
yeah, they're
times."
like, you're so young. He's like in his 30s,
Yeah.
mid 30s, 35, I believe. Yeah, and they also like find like weird artifacts, like a painting that looks very much so like Picasso.
Mhm.
And then they find like a little beak artifact fossilized that was used back in the day for chipping away at rocks to make weapons or tools and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, I got that at what do you say? At a pawn
Thrift
shop,
shop.
a thrift shop." Yeah, something crazy like that. Which, based off of what he said through the rest of the movie, could have been true,
Yeah.
but who knows? Anyway, yeah. So at one point, it gets to the him just saying, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna tell him everything," and practically tells them that he's a caveman, and then a 14,000-year-old caveman, and he goes through, like, the whole timeline well, not the whole timeline, he goes through periods of his life of, what he can recall, where he was, or how he, came to be and blah, 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 and then my favorite part is in the back of the movie, he tells them he's Jesus
Mhm.
just because he's saying, like, everyone had religion, and there was religion everywhere, but Jesus, that name went through different cycles, through different languages, and ended up as
Oh,
being
one of
Jesus.
the professors is very upset about that.
Very upset. And she's also the most annoying character in the movie, I think.
I feel like there's a tie with one other
Really?
one.
Oh, the guy?
Yeah.
Well, which guy? The long hair one?
The biologist, I believe.
Yeah, the
That's the
one.
other thing is all of the professors have different fields of study, which like gives them different input on his stories. Like one
Yeah.
of them's biologist. There's another one's who's like a historian, and another they bring a psychologist in because they all think he's crazy.
And then one of them is a Christian. What is that one called?
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway, she studies religion and Christianity. She's very upset about this. He kinda just, like, walks through, how it came to be, and he was like, I just wanted people to with what he had learned, he just wanted people to, treat each other correctly and, do the right things, and that got mistaken into anyway, at one point, that psychologist, he, like, comes over, he's trying to, like, figure John out. His name is John Oldman. Old man. I
That
like
was
that.
I that the first time I heard them say his last name, I was like, "Come on."
I liked it. And so, that goes through and through, and then everyone is like getting all riled up. And then he was like, all right, it's time to call quits. I was just joking. I wanted to see how far I could push it. You all gave me the idea to do this. And then, they all kind of dispersed. He was talking with one of the people that she's
Like
just his,
I don't. I think.
she's not his
I
lover,
think she's
but
also a professor.
she's
So I
also a
don't know what
professor.
she teaches, but yeah, his girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend. Anyway, she was like, "You're full of it. Like you just said that to let them off the hook." And he was like, "Yeah, practically." And then she was like, "Well, what names have you all gone through?" And he like lists names, and he was like, "At
um,
Yale or Harvard or something like that
it was. I think he just said in Boston, but I don't remember which college.
in Boston. 60 years ago, he went by the name of something
Maybe it
something.
was Harvard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was, but who knows? So he went by the name of blah blah blah, and at this point, the psychologist was behind him,
Hmm.
and he overheard him saying the name, and that name that he said was actually his dad's name
Yeah.
that had left his mother at one point, and he didn't believe it at first, but then John was able to like tell him his mom's maiden name and his mom's name, and also tell him his dog's name, Woofy, that passed before he was even born, and he was freaking out, and then he had a heart attack, I think.
Yeah. They had mentioned earlier that he had a heart condition, so I guess that was just like that pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, and then his girlfriend asked after, the ambulance came and all that stuff, she was like, "Have you ever seen one of your children die?"
Mm.
And he said no. So the crazy end of the movie realization of like
And then
he was with his kid the whole time.
he had told her multiple times that it would be dumb for her to like come with him because it's like you're just gonna get old and die, and then I I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And I think there was a conversation early on where she out of the blue. Like, there wasn't any lead up to this, but like they walk out to the truck and she just goes, "I love you." But then he like explains why he can't really love her back because he's been alive so long and he's had so many people in his life that it's just like, I guess he just doesn't have the emotional capacity for it anymore.
Mhm.
Um,
Because everyone he knows has died over and over and over.
but then at the end ends up waiting and lets her get in the truck with him and they drive off together.
Yeah, I think he said 10 more years, or she was like, 10 more years? And he goes, okay. So we'll see where that goes. But anyway, that's Man from Earth. That's the whole like easy synopsis of it.
All right, well, I guess we'll take a quick break and then start talking.
Let's do it.
And we're back.
We're back. Yeah, so just I just looked at my notes, and so John, just to get right into it, to set the stage of when he thinks he's from. It was since the Cro-Magnon era, which is 14,000 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. So you said two characters were annoying.
Right. The biologist guy was also kind of just obnoxious.
He was obnoxious, but he wasn't as annoying as her.
She was more dramatic because he was just kept making stupid jokes. But
She
she
was
was like yelling and crying and
She's like, "You're not Jesus." She said that like a few times, and I was like, "All right, lady, relax." He is. So, what'd you think about the concept of the movie?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I like how they kept pointing out that there's really no way to like prove his story.
No,
Like
yeah.
he could just be bullshitting them all,
Right,
which would
right.
make him a terrible person. Because what a fucking crazy thing to do to your friends.
So
But
true.
he could be lying.
Yeah, and I think that's what his girlfriend said. She was like, "You would never, drag people that you loved or that you liked as colleagues. Like that's not his personality." She
Right.
said. So that's how she knows he's not.
Yeah.
He is old.
But yeah, just the idea of him just like spilling the beans to these people. He also at one point mentions that he might have met another person, and I mean that would be a fun story to explore. I don't know if they should have done that in the sequel.
True. He was talking about how he met one person at one point. They both agreed, and then he was like, they like lost touch, and then 200 years later, he thought he saw him at a train stop in blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's where that train stop was. But hey, if it happened to him, and he thought he doesn't know exactly how it happened to him or why it, is happening, then
Yeah.
I think it's fair to assume it could be real.
And they also talk about, like at one point, the psychologist like points a gun at him, which we find out later it wasn't even loaded. But like they do talk about like, okay, sure, you can like survive and heal from diseases and stuff, but like, what if you got shot?
He was like, "I might die."
Right?
I don't know. He's never been shot in 14,000 years.
Yeah, that seems surprising to
That
me.
does seem.
And I feel like
you only had guns in maybe 300 of those years.
but still, there are like plenty of wars. Like
True.
you're saying he's
he
never been
fighting them?
in a place where he was enlisted or he was in a country that got invaded by someone. Like
I don't know.
fucking Alexander the Great took over Europe.
Man's god tier at changing identities, so I doubt he'd be enlisted, right?
Or frickin' who's the I'm blanking on the name now. The frickin' Mongolian dude who is like has half the world is related to him.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it Attila the Hun?
Oh, fuck no, obviously.
I don't know. But like there's been so many like or like the two world wars. Like where was he during both of those?
True, but he did say he was like on some vessel for a long while, or vessels. I'm not exactly sure, but
Just seems a little strange that he would have never been in a lethal fight.
I will say, if I lived for 14,000 years, I'd understand and learn to not be in them. But I agree. But also, I do want to throw in there real quick that psychologist that had a heart attack and passed away, his wife had died the day earlier.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another reason why he was getting more like worked up about this probably than anyone else. But when KK and I finished watching the movie, she goes, "Hey, at least he didn't have to live very long after his wife died."
Oh my god.
Hey, the silver lining.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's pretty common with older people that like with older couples, one person will usually die pretty soon after the other.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think one thing that could have made this movie a little better is if it was like more of a surprise. Like I I feel like as an audience member, I want it to be where the people in the room were. Like, do I believe this guy or not? Like, make it a little bit more of a mystery. But I felt like from the beginning, it was very obvious that he was telling the truth. And so,
I can see that as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That could've been cool. Yeah. I liked seeing just the faith versus, like, I wouldn't even call it, like, storytelling, but, like, faith clashing with the logic that he was talking about,
mhm,
like, this is this is what happened to lead up to this,
yeah.
and then faith was like, "No." I thought that was very interesting, or even, like, faith clashing with science, right?
hmm
I think those are very interesting topics that kept going through the movie. Yeah, I just very cool.
This is a tiny nitpick, but in the beginning scene before they go into the house when everyone's out by the truck, there was like some really bad ADR. Like
They do.
it's a automatic dialogue replacement, which is like they film it, but then the audio from when they were filming doesn't work or they don't have audio, and so then later they like re-record their lines
Oh, wow.
in a studio and just like put it on top of the film.
Mm,
And that it's something about it sounded weird. And there was a point where one of the characters was like, it was the guy who was like nice to him the whole time.
the black guy?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
But he was talking out by the truck and like his dialogue very obviously didn't match his mouth
His lips.
movements. And I was like, well,
Damn. See, did you notice that on the first watch through? That's
I only watched it once.
dude, that's nuts. I've watched this at least 4 or 5 times, and I never huh, damn, good for you. I would never have noticed the ADR.
I put a note here that just says Edith because she was so annoying.
God, she was the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of them. I will say although I didn't like that lady's reaction to him being Jesus, I
I
also
understand.
kind of agree with her. Like, I felt like it was kind of dumb that he was Jesus.
I think that was, like, the challenging part, though. I think that was, like, the climax of the whole conversation of this is the thing that a lot of people, not most people, a lot of people hold near and dear to their heart, their religion.
Hmm.
And if it turns out the guy that you just, thought was a regular colleague for 10 years somehow is like, "Hey, it was just a misinterpretation. Like, I wasn't trying to be this holy figure."
Right. Well, that's not even the part I have a problem with. I just don't like that he was Jesus. Like, if he had been like, oh yeah, I ran into Jesus and he was just like just a dude.
I mean, he said that about Gandhi. He studied with Gandhi
Buddha.
Buddha for a while.
Yeah.
He could have been like, "I was Buddha."
That would have also been kind of dumb.
Well, he has to take the crown somewhere.
Does he?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe this is just a
If
personal
you're
opinion. I feel like it would be way more interesting if he just like ran into popular historical figures and not that he was one.
well, the thing is, he learned so much over the thousands of years he was alive. It
Yeah.
just is gonna be natural for him to have more quote unquote wisdom than a regular schmuck that's alive for 60 and
Still.
that's a lot of years to live,
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all.
but I mean, he's obviously like we see in this movie, he's like, I'm not smarter than anyone else. I just have more experience.
Yeah, he has more knowledge. I mean, he is technically smarter, he just had more time to acquire it. He
Yeah.
said he has more time, which I think time is like almost another character in this movie because the amount they talk about this, the different time and the things that he was going through during time, and you could
I
almost
also another irritating part about it for me is it furthers the even though they're like trying to subvert expectations and like, oh my god, this regular dude is Jesus, but like still a white guy. Like, I feel like there's already a big enough problem in the world with people portraying Jesus as white when historical evidence shows that he was probably Middle Eastern.
that's true.
And so it's like, yep, this white guy was Jesus. Congratulations, white people.
I can't say anything to that. That's a sure, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's a lot of little things that I was just like, eh.
That's fine. If you had a belief, would you want to know the truth if it shattered that belief? Would you wanna know the truth like Edith? If
Like learning that Santa Claus isn't real.
well, you already know that.
Well, yeah, but like,
Depends if you have a belief. Do you have a belief that you hold near and dear?
I mean, I think everyone has beliefs. It depends on how you define it.
True. Let's say, like, being a good human, right? Let's say that belief isn't actually real, and it's better to be a shit human.
Like, it's better to go out and kill a bunch of people
Yeah.
and smash babies,
Right, right.
punch random old people in the
Would you want
face.
to know that?
Like those prank videos that were popular for a while where a bunch of assholes would just like go around and punch people.
God, yeah, that was
That's a
terrible
wild
time.
time.
Yeah, but yeah, that.
I mean, I guess I just don't know how you could ever prove that that was wrong because I feel like that's a very
True.
subjective thing.
True. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't really have strong beliefs, it feels like, so okay.
I feel like it
Well, I
really
guess that's a question for the audience if you're watching.
yeah.
Leave a comment of, hey, if you're, let's say, Christian, or if you're, I don't even know, a different type of religion, would you want to know if, a colleague of yours was all of a sudden like, hey, this is why that happened? And
Or to take it and into because I'm trying to think of like non-religious situations and this could happen and like what if you let's say one of your parents wasn't around when you were a kid and like let's say like your dad wasn't around when you were a kid and your mom always told you a story about like what happened to him
Mhm.
and then you learn later that your mom was lying and the reason that your dad is gone isn't the reason that she told you. Like that would be
Right.
a learning that your belief is wrong kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. What would you want? Would you want your mom to tell you the truth at one point? Or you find out the truth at one point and then realize that your mom has just been lying to you? Or would you like to live in, like, your little bubble of he was a firefighter and he passed away saving a family
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Or I guess the probably something that more people encounter is like finding out that someone cheated on you. Because that shatters the belief that
Would you rather know that someone cheated on you or if they died in a car accident? Car accident.
but like you have this belief about your relationship and then finding out that the other person doesn't care about you as much as you thought they did. That's another belief that can be
Oh yeah, these are good ones because they hit more like the emotional side of
yeah.
things, which people have for religion. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? I pick car accident. Yeah, I mean, there's not too many things that you could. I mean, I guess there's a lot of like theoretical conversations that we could have.
Yeah.
Like with
Or sorry, to one more example, but going back to our last movie we were talking about Moon, like would you rather find out that you're a clone or just like live your 3 years?
true, true, yeah, yeah. So with John telling us that he's telling the truth, does it matter to who? Does it matter to the audience, to the professors, of what he's saying, if it's true or not, and why?
To the professors, I think it definitely matters
Why?
because I mean, you can tell just from their reactions like there's almost a feeling of
Disbelief. That
jealousy.
oh, jealousy.
Because I mean, like you mentioned, like one of the reasons that the psychologist gets so upset is because his wife just died, and it's like there's a feeling of like it's not fair that all of us have to die and all of our loved ones have to die and you just get to keep on living. And they
Mhm.
even ask him multiple times, like, "Do you ever feel guilty about that?" Like, there's kind of
Brought
a
up vampires a few times too.
right, like, like there's kind of this underlying sense that his long life is not right.
I understand that, and I get that. At the same time, I don't think he chose it, right? It's like,
Well, I'm not saying it's his fault, but like it does matter to them.
yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I don't think it would matter to me. I'd be like, "That's so cool." I'd be more like the African American guy who was more like, we can't, like, disprove his story, and we can still just have our own thought of, like, "Oh,
I would try to pressure him into getting some testing, which they kind of did, but like that would have been my main goal. Because
I
imagine,
also don't understand it they will treat him like your lab rat and
yeah, no,
keep him in
it
there in a
would
cage.
suck. But also, like, even if let's say they keep him there for 50 years. 50 years is the blink of an eye in 14,000
That's
years.
true. That is true. I agree with you. I if it was me, if it was me, I would definitely have gone to the lab because just out of pure like selfishness and self curiosity about why I have this ability,
Yeah.
I'd want to go get it checked out.
Just figure out why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, like within those 14,000 years, he could have just gotten his biology degree, which he has,
Mm.
and gone into a lab and done it himself.
Also true.
So like,
So he's just being lazy.
yeah, why the fuck hasn't he done? This is a new thought. Why hasn't he just gone?
Because
and
like
tested
imagine
himself?
if there was some secret like in his blood or something that they could like
Cure
get,
cancer
yeah,
or
or
AIDS
yeah,
or
help other people heal from things.
yeah,
Like that would be so much better.
he's a jerk. Jesus is a jerk. Yeah. What would you do if you were immortal? If you were this guy that had the ability to live 14,000 years and never really die, would you kind of do what he did like every 10 years? Probably should.
Does
about,
it
'cause-
similar to the Cullens in Twilight.
Exactly.
Got to move every once in a while.
Right, right. And then they come back. What would you do then? Like you'd have a wall with all your graduation caps.
I certainly wouldn't go back to high
Well,
school.
he was old enough, luckily, to not have to do that. Like,
They were old enough to. Let's be real.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't know. I'm trying to think like because obviously there's no telling what I would do over that amount of time. But like, what's the first thing I would do if I found out I was immortal? I feel like well, that's another thing is like you still have to have.
Because he doesn't know if he's actually immortal. He just lives a long time. So you have to be careful.
He heals really fast, and they talk about how he like doesn't scar. But I'm like, does he need to eat? Like, could he die from starvation? I don't
You
understand.
did talk
it.
about the bubonic plague and how, like, that was terrible for him.
Right.
So it's not an easy thing for him to go through.
Because I'm just thinking like you would still need resources,
So
and
what,
they
you
never
want to starve yourself.
No, but I'm
Starve
saying
yourself.
I'm saying like you would still need resources.
Yes.
And they briefly mentioned that like he has enough money, but they don't really talk about where he got his money. And
Living, I guess.
well, like I'm sure obviously he's working as a professor, so like he does different jobs,
Mhm.
but like I know professor doesn't pay that well.
Bro, one of them like joked that he got into the stock markets like early on for
Yeah.
30 cents a pop.
But like I feel like eventually it would suck to constantly be working class. Like if I had to just have a job for thousands of years, I'd be like, this sucks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every 10
I
years I
w-
would change jobs.
if I could
Every 50.
if I could get like into the stock market and just get a bunch of money and retire, then there would be a different discussion. But if it was like 14,000 years of a 9 to 5, I'd be like, fucking kill me, dog.
Unless he's so into teaching.
Could be.
Because the girl, one of the professors brought a student. It was like a student professor relationship.
Weird, yeah.
Very strange. Don't recommend. But she did say that like his classes were like the most interesting classes because it felt like, you know, they were really in that era of time. So maybe he just likes talking about his past. I mean, it's easy for him, right? Like,
Yeah.
who knows? I don't know. But
And I guess it's not like
so
he
what is the
lives
first thing you would do?
super extravagantly. Like
What's the
he
first thing you
he
would do?
donates all of his furniture at the end.
That's true. That's true. He's like a live life.
Whatever.
But what would you do? Let's say within the first 1,000 years, or let's say 300 years.
I don't know. I feel like I'd want to like travel more, I guess.
Hmm. That's the first thing that I would do. Also, that was my answer. Is like go to all the continents and meet different people.
I mean, like that also comes with like he says that like he's learned a bunch of languages, and I was like, fucking speak some of them, then, bitch.
They wouldn't understand him. There's a linguist there.
Maybe there should have been. But yeah, I feel like traveling would be nice. But again, that also comes with additional costs. Like I can't afford to fly around the world, and
True. Let me ask you another question. If in our current time, it was proven that there was a single human that has been able to live for 14,000 years, and like they're like, hey, this is all the evidence. This is, you know, his blood work, whatever.
Yep.
It's amazing. Would it change humanity and how?
No,
Okay.
not overall. It might change a few people's lives, but I don't think that really has an impact. I mean, aside from the impact that like people would try to do what we were talking about earlier, which is like figure out how to make other people like him.
Right.
And like if there was a way is like go and get a shot and you can live an extra 1,000 years and you just have to like get that shot every 1,000 years and you're good to go. Like that would change humanity if all of a sudden everyone was immortal. But just like some random guy, I feel like wouldn't do that much.
I agree. And that's how I feel about aliens. It's like if the government did tell us that aliens were real, I'd be like, cool.
I think aliens would be a bigger thing.
You think so?
I do.
Then a dude living 14,000 years?
Yeah.
I feel like he would be the alien though.
Because a a dude living a long time is like it's a biological mystery. Like how does your body work that way?
Yeah.
Aliens changes like global philosophy because that means that we're not it. Like there's stuff outside of us
We aren't
and
it.
but we don't know that. Like most people, I think a lot of people believe that. I certainly like. I think it would be dumb if Earth was the only inhabited planet. So I'm confident that there are other planets with life on them,
Yeah.
but we just don't know yet.
That's true.
And I think that
Well,
that
we don't. The regular humans don't know yet. Uh, that's all I'm gonna say to that.
Donald Trump has all the secrets. But yeah, I think the knowledge would also lead to a different step, which like if we found out for sure there is another technological civilization somewhere, we would try to contact that. And like again, that's something that like if we found out today, it wouldn't affect my lifetime, but like over the course of the next several thousand years. Like humanity would try to contact them if we got word back. Like
Mhm.
having a relationship with a different species would be crazy. Like I think that would affect humanity much more than learning about some random dude living a long time.
Yeah, it's a good argument. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I guess then to just tie a bow on this movie, my last comment. For me personally, I like the dialogue that I get to have with people that I show the movie to because when I'm like, hey, Man from Earth, real fun watch, you should watch it. I like the dialogue that I get from that afterwards. Like for me, it's more fun to watch a thinker movie and to have, the dialogue with your friends afterwards than watch, a Marvel movie, which is really like action focused,
Mm.
and great visuals, and then just talk about what happened in the movie versus like, I don't know, which is better, like what we just talked about, a guy living 40,000 years finding out about that or aliens. I think that conversation is much more interesting to me personally than us having talked about Twilight for the last 10, 20 episodes and, been like, yeah, Bella
And
had a really cool fight move.
no, but to be fair, they're like there's still there's opportunities for conversations like that. It's not as obvious. Like you might have to dig a little deeper, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
like even to use Twilight as an example, like we still had the conversation about like moving every few years and like that that kind of stuff still does come up or like I don't it's been a long time since we talked about Black Panther, but like the
Mhm.
idea of like if one nation had like a super powerful technology, do we think it would be right for them to share it with the world or should they keep it to themselves in case someone bad gets a hold of it? And like
Right.
there are deeper conversations to be had even inside of those bigger budget movies, but yeah, it's nice to just not have the other stuff, I guess, so that like the conversation is the main point of it.
Yeah. 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 I'd say for $200,000, they did a pretty good job in '07 to just throw something at a wall and hope it sticks, and it did well,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Here we are in
I
2025
I'm
talking
I'm
about it.
pretty confident we will probably never review anything under $200,000
Yeah, so
unless we did like an actual student film.
that's true, that's true. So for now, this holds the crown of lowest budget. Yeah,
All right. Well, trivia is next.
let's do it.
Not much on this one, but Tony Todd, who was the black professor, I wish I could remember his character's name, but also Tony Todd, I think at least for me is probably the most noteworthy actor in here. He was in There's a series of movies called Candyman. It's a horror series, but he's in those. He is also in the Final Destination movies. He actually just recently passed away. I think he had like colon cancer or something like that, but he was still in the Final Destination movie that came out earlier this year. He was in that, and that was his last movie. But yeah, I mean, cool guy.
Yeah.
But he was the first person cast for this movie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Cool. They know what they wanted him for. Smooth talking and smooth big yeah, it was just he's a great character.
The whole movie was shot using 2 Panasonic DVX-100 camcorders, which explains the overall grainy look of the film.
There we go. Good trivia.
Yeah. On to Get Wrecked.
Yeah. Get wrecked. Do you have something for us?
I am going to recommend. I feel like I had something in mind, but now I don't want to say it, so I have to come up with something else. Because while I was in Fort Collins, I got you a Christmas present.
Oh.
And I was going to wreck the place that I got it, but I won't do that. So instead,
What? Is it an outdoor sports store?
I'm going to recommend.
Because Keika's brother works in one, so it'd be awesome if you actually went to that one.
I did not go to that one.
Oh, okay.
What am I going to
I
recommend?
think you should recommend.
How about you go first, and then I'll think of something.
All right, so I would recommend a place called, I know the name, I'm just getting something out of my back pocket. 2 sheets. There we go. K1 Speed Go-Karting. So what we did yesterday was practically electric go-karts that are meant for adults. They go quite fast.
Didn't you also go there recently?
No, this is the first time I've ever done it.
Because I'm pretty sure last time we recorded, you were talking about fast go-karts.
No.
Unless you were saying you were gonna go?
No. Well, maybe I said I was gonna go. No, I wouldn't have said that. I think. No.
Did you go to a different go-karting place?
I've never been go-karting.
There's no way.
I'm so serious.
I swear to God, we had a conversation last time because I remember you talking about like, man, they're super fast. And I was talking about how I feel like I don't normally like go-karting because they're like really slow and stuff. And you were like, now you need like a helmet. And it's like, oh, the F1 place.
Yeah, so this is the F1 place.
Okay, so maybe you were just talking about I'm gonna go.
Okay. Yeah, so practically we went there with like he had a lot of people there, like 20 people, but there's like 2 different heats then. So they just split up the group into 2 different groups to get the time trials. So there's 3 rounds total. There's 12 laps in each round. And then so the first lap is kind of like a practice. Those are practice laps. The second one actually counts. The fastest lap gets to be in the higher heat. And then the very last one, they like line you up as like actual F1 racers. And then, you know, when the flag drops, you go. So let's see here. This was the practice lap here. So after every lap, they like give you a printout of like your name, everyone else's names, and the speeds that, you know, you best time, best lap, your average speed through the laps, and then the gap that you were from the person in front of you. And so the first time we went through, I hit first place. I got first place in my heat so just to put in perspective, the best adult of the week, their speed was 23.32. The best adult record in Denver ever for this track was 22 seconds flat. And then I hit on that round, my best lap was 24.7.
Nice.
So not too good. But I got first place, which was cool. That didn't really matter. Then the second one, this one like actually counted. And I got 24 seconds flat.
How many people were racing?
In this heat, there were 8.
Okay.
So 8 of us. Yeah, so this one I got 24 seconds flat. My average time was 25 seconds.
Nice.
And mind you, you have to like remember, like when you're racing this track, you have to like get around people and like around these bends. And you're going,
how wide is it? Are we talking like 2-3 car distances or
maybe 2.5 car distances wide?
Okay.
But you're also in a cart that's pretty wide, right? Let's see here if I have any more information on it. So 24 seconds flat was my fastest time of the night. And that's with me like fighting to get to the front. So I got first there. And then We did the full heat, and lo and behold, oh, I got first place.
That's your trophy?
Yeah, that's the trophy. So out of
Nice.
20 people,
Dang, it's heady.
I know. Yeah, so like out of 20 people, I got first, and everyone was asking me how the heck I'm so good at it. And I said, I don't know. Never go-karted before. And I told them, I was like, well, I drive my car like a go-kart, and I have always ridden motorcycles, so maybe that's why. But dude, it's so fun. When I was going, man, oh. But then when you would find those really good lines when the tires got more like hot. So at the very start, you have cold tires. So you're racing, you're steering, you have a lot of oversteer, which means like your front is kind of like slipping out. But then once the tires like warmed up and heated up, it would grab like I hit a corner going like fucking pedal to the metal, and it would just take it. It was awesome. Such a good time. Highly recommend anyone go there. It is a bit pricey. I think it's $100 per person, but that was, I mean, I think it was totally worth it. You also got like a $10 card to go play like some arcade games, and then you also got like free drinks there. So
Nice. My recommendation is going to be the movie on Netflix called Wake Up Dead Man, which is the latest in the Knives Out series.
oh, I saw the movie. It's it's like 2 hours and like 40 minutes long. Wait,
Isn't
right?
that long? It's pretty
Yeah,
long, but
it's that long.
but yeah, if you like the Knives Out series, the latest one just came out, so
Have you watched it?
I have.
Nice. What do you think?
Obviously, I'm recommending it.
Should
so
okay, so people should
positive.
watch it.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
I think I really like all three of those movies. I think, I mean, if they keep making them, I'll keep watching them. But they've been good so far.
They have some killer actors.
Yeah.
This third one, I think.
I still think the first one is probably my favorite, but yeah, they're all
First, third, second. Because
I
the
think
last Onion was okay.
filmmaking wise, the third one is probably better than the second one. I think acting wise, the second one did more with its cast. I feel like the third one was very focused on like the one guy, and he did great, don't get me wrong, but it was like Benoit Blanc and this one other guy, and then everyone else was like, they were there and they did good, but they weren't really.
Was Benoit Blanc?
He's the detective guy.
So he's 007?
Daniel Craig, yeah.
Yeah. I can only see him as James Bond, so that's what it is.
But yeah, I feel like the second movie, everyone in the movie had like pretty significant roles, and like it felt more involved versus this one. You have your two guys, and then everyone else is kind of in the background.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I'll have to watch it. Also, the new season of Stranger Things also came out a little bit ago, but
it was like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah,
and,
I just caught up, so I'm now I can start watching the new season.
Nice.
So,
but yeah, so they released the first 4 episodes a couple weeks ago, and then I think they're doing another 2 episodes on Christmas.
oh, there's
Or maybe one more episode on Christmas, and then another, and then the finale is the day after Christmas.
yeah,
And that one's like long. Like I think the finale, because it's not just the last episode of the season.
it was 2 hours and 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
The finale of the last one.
The last episode is gonna also be pretty damn long.
God damn, because that's ending the show.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm done with it.
I think it was a good show. I enjoyed it. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
For a casual viewer, maybe. He's always got some hard ass opinions.
Listen.
Listen, I love movies.
I just have higher standards.
I have higher standards than the most common folk.
But if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family about us. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell icon, and please leave a comment because, as I mentioned last time, that really helps the algorithm.
Hell yeah. Answer my questions that I asked in these podcasts.
Otherwise, you can leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. You can also follow us on Bluesky and Instagram at CashFanPod. If you want to send us a message, you can DM us, leave a comment, or send an email to casualfanaticpodcast@gmail.com. Links for all of those things are in the description. What kind of message can I send us?
You guys can send us anything from answering my questions that I asked in the podcasts to practically like any movie that you would want us to review, any movie that you think is, a fun watch, or give us your own opinions of the movies that we review. Um, yeah, if you have any like suggestions, things that could make the podcast better, or things that you really do enjoy of, what we did in the podcast, let us know. We'd love any feedback, and yeah, it'd be great to review another movie that someone throws at us. So,
And on that note, this has been Casual Fanatic. Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening.